Are you getting ready to divorce a narcissist and need fees? Need attorney's fees? Need fees for a forensic accountant or a custody evaluator and have no idea where they're coming from? You're in luck. By the end of this part 2 of my conversation with Nicole Noonan, you're going to know exactly how to go about getting fees for just that. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, top 1% attorney and the best-selling author of the books Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a Step-by-Step Divorce Guide. And I've helped thousands of people just like you go from lives of drama, trauma, chaos to go all the way to lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. And I do the same thing for you right here in these videos. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, and you'll get notified when I upload brand new content and new interviews and go live and all those good things. So this is part 2 of my conversation with Nicole Noonan. So without further ado, let's dive into part 2. So walk us through the process. Do they have to like fill out like a loan application? Is that how it would work? Or,
So
how
it's
would
an
that work?
application process, yes, but we ask for the attorneys to fill it out with
Oh, I
the
see.
client,
I see.
just because there's certain, it's not the attorney's first rodeo, but it may be the client's first rodeo. So there are certain questions that the client's just not going to be able to answer. So we ask the attorney to fill it out with the client, and we ask, for information. Our underwriters are very, very good. At sifting through all the information and making a determination of what her likely settlement would be, and then we fund a percentage of what that settlement would be to help level the playing field.
Now you've been. It seems like most of your clients are women. What if the roles are reversed? What if it's the guy who's the non-moneyed spouse and the woman has the control? Or what if it's a gay couple or something like that? Is it gender specific?
No, absolutely. We have had many, many men. We've had same-sex marriages. It's the non-money to the moneyed spouse. So we fund the non-money spouse. We've also done where we funded both sides of the divorce, where everything is tied up.
Interesting.
I know in California and in New York and across the country, things are tied up in real estate, and it may not be the best time to sell a $2 million house, but there's equity in it, and eventually it's going to sell, and you can't even sell it during a divorce. And it's difficult. So we sometimes, and so we'll fund both sides, so they're able to both have attorneys, both, and we also fund for mediation. So it really runs the gamut. We're just here to help the underdog, really, to make sure that they have an equal say in their divorce, and they get to their new chapter.
And about how many clients do you help a year? Is there like a limit or anything like that? Or
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't take on every client. I mean, I would love, we get calls all the time, but if there aren't any assets, there's nothing to divide, then I always say, you know what? You don't need me, and you don't really want to pay a lot of money towards an attorney and to litigation costs. Sit down with your spouse if you can, over dinner, and say, hey, these are my 10 non-negotiables. What are your 10 non-negotiables? There's no use to throw good money after bad. But we have anywhere from 100 clients a year. It depends on some clients stay with us, unfortunately, because their litigation takes longer. Some clients settle very quickly, so it depends. I know 2 cases are the same, 2 clients are the same.
okay, so but is there like a limit on the number of clients that you can take a year, or if they
Nope.
are okay? So
Yeah,
if they're qualified, you can go ahead and
absolutely. Yeah.
okay. And who's a good candidate for funding?
So I always say, like, there's don't throw good money after bad. But certainly if there are assets and there's one spouse that's being difficult, trying to maintain control of the money and then maintaining control of you, and you have something at the end of the day that you'll be entitled to, that is certainly a client that we'll look at. Usually there's a house, but that's, we've also funded cases where there's a horse farm, or there's an art collection. People really diversify how they spend their money, but if there's something that she or he is going to be entitled to at the end of the day, and then we can look to that and say, hey, okay, will fund a percentage of what that entitlement would be, and then they're able to go ahead and get that attorney. Or they may need a forensic accountant, they may need a business evaluation done. A lot of our clients, spouses, they both are jointly owned in a business, or one spouse has helped develop the business where the other one maintains the control of the business, but they're still entitled to something. So we'll certainly try to help out and get a forensic accountant for those people.
Interesting. Is it possible? What if people want to, maybe they have somebody who'd be willing to co-sign for them or something like that. Maybe they don't have the assets. Is it only, against the
Mm.
assets or?
Yeah, just against, we won't do a cosigner. So it
Okay.
really has to be against their potential settlement.
Okay. Okay. And why do you think it's more important than ever for divorce clients and professionals to know that divorce funding is an option nowadays?
Yeah, yeah. No, as we're working from home still in New York, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. And the courts, or they were always backed up, and now they're going to be even more backed up. So trying to get in to make an application to the court, because I'm sure your listeners or some of your listeners will know, you can make an application to the court for counsel fees. But of course, one, you have to have an attorney to do that, and two, that's going to cost money to do that. It's going to take longer to get in. Something that was going to take a year last year is going to take 2 years this year. I know in like a DC area, they're saying that it's now a 2-year backlog in the courts. So, but
Gosh.
not, yeah, it's crazy. And it's
Yeah.
also, so many people are having, you know, underemployment right now,
Yeah.
or just financial strain because of, where we are in the world during the pandemic. So I think that it's important that people know that this is an option. And if you can't get through the court system and you want to get out and you want to, start looking for a new apartment, it's a potential that we can get you some funding.
So does the attorney help them put together, I know when I go to make an application for fees from the moneyed spouse, as a lawyer, I have to put together like a litigation budget,
Mhm.
to show the judge, this is how much I think we're going to need. Here are the hours that I think that we're going to do they put together like a litigation budget? How do they know how much to ask for from you?
Yeah, Rebecca, that's why we want to work with attorneys, because though we have no crystal balls, we do know that, is this a $10,000 case? Is this a $100,000 case? Is this going to take $1 million to get, the more the assets there are, the more there is to fight over. But, we shouldn't be funding $100,000 for a case that's, there's only $150,000 in assets.
So do
Um,
you like create sort of almost like a line of credit in the beginning, based
exactly.
on, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you kind of know from the beginning how much you will go up to. And then obviously if they don't need that full amount, then great, right?
Great. No, if they can settle, absolutely. And we encourage that.
Yeah, of
Um,
course, of course. So, do you have any other successful outcome stories? What they've done in their next chapter. I know you
yeah.
talked about the woman with the jewelry business. Is there anybody else? I mean,
Yeah.
I
We
know
actually,
people want to feel inspired.
yeah. You know, I think that when they come to me, either in person, over the phone, um, they're stressed. I mean, they're stressed about money. They're stressed about the divorce. They're stressed about custody of their children. And then to see them blossom, after this is all said and done, that they're able to get the settlement they're entitled to. We actually had a gal a couple of years ago. She went back to law school, which I think is amazing. So she's still in the process and going to take the bar, and she wants to be a matrimonial attorney. So
Oh my goodness.
may hear of her one day. I don't want to give her name, but that for me is so inspiring.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah, for sure. So, I always ask my people on my shows. You didn't know about this question, so it kind of take you a little bit off guard. But it is, what is your spirit animal? If you had to choose a spirit animal, what would be your spirit animal?
Oh, I think, you know, for a big birthday, I went to South Africa, and I love animals, and I love the giraffe. I have to say, because they're statuesque. I'm a vegetarian, so it's also, but they also have a presence that the other animals in the jungle really try and don't mess with them. They can still play with the big boys, the lions that are out there, and but they can still survive and thrive, and they're very protective. So I find that
Yeah, and they actually have a
yeah.
better view. They can see things like from like the big picture, maybe
Yeah,
better
and
than
they're
others.
fast. Exactly.
You know, I mean, who knows? But in some ways, you would think they are, right? So,
Yeah.
how can people get in touch with you? How can they learn more about you? How can they, um, you know, apply for funding? All of that.
Yeah. So website, obviously, new NEW chapter CHAPTER capital CAPITAL .com, or call us 212-404-7807. We're also on Instagram at Divorce Funding, and at the Fairy Godmother of Divorce, is the other Instagram handle. But of course on LinkedIn, I'm always available as well.
Okay,
And
so
Facebook.
so newchaptercapital.com. I just want
Yeah.
to make sure I say that again. Okay, and then just repeat the phone number again.
212-404-7807.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. I know this
Thank
is going to help
you.
so many
I
people.
hope so.
Thanks for watching part 2 of my conversation with the incredible Nicole Noonan. What a great idea she had to help people get access to be able to hire attorneys and all of the other professionals involved with getting a divorce. So if you like this video and you think that there's others that could use this information, make sure you give it a like, give it a share, drop me a comment. And if you haven't subscribed, now's a great time to do that. If you are getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist or with anyone, make sure to grab my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet. You can get that at winmynegotiation.com. And also, if you want to connect with others who are dealing with narcissists, join me in my free private Facebook group. It's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad that you were here today. And remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. I will see you in the next video.